Hey squad, me and my messy beard are back with another episode. Today we are talking about how to calculate your macros and calories for weight loss and muscle growth. Now, trigger warning, this is a sensitive subject for many people, especially those that have been struggling with or struggled in the past with eating disorders. I want to make known to you and everybody else, tracking is not essential to achieve your desired results. In fact, it can be complicated, and if done improperly, it can be addictive. That being said, understanding your estimated calorie and macro needs has several benefits. In today's episode, we are going to focus primarily on the how to calculate rather than the why and why not. But first, it's journal time. Let's go. Today's journal entry prompt is I watched X amount of hours of television yesterday. Now, if you don't have a television or you don't watch TV, watching anything on your laptop or mobile phone or tablet still counts. So don't lie to yourself, just be honest. How many hours of TV or media did you consume yesterday? By the way, is there anything cool that you guys are currently watching that you think I or Viv should watch? Let me know in the comment box below. Right, back to calculating our macros and calories. Calories. Do you know what a calorie is? Well, a calorie refers to the energy released from the foods and drinks we consume. However, not all calories are created equally. In fact, some calories provide us with little to no nutritional value whatsoever, which brings me on to macros, short for macronutrients. These refer to carbs, protein, and fat. Now, there are 4 calories per 1 gram of carb, 4 calories per 1 gram of protein, and 9 calories per 1 gram of fat. So, how do we calculate our macros? Well, first we need to calculate our calories, and to do that, we need a calorie calculator. Now, there are several calorie calculators out there, and each will provide you with a similar but different result, and they also come with their limitations. For example, many don't take into account our body composition. However, they are a good starting guide, and the one we're using in today's episode is known as the Mifflin-St. John method. So, grab your pen, paper, calculator, we're about to get stuck in and calculate those calories. Let's go. First thing we're going to calculate is your resting energy expenditure. This refers to the calories you need to function as a human being. Next, we're going to look at your total daily energy expenditure. This refers to the calories you need to do your day-to-day activities, including eating and digesting, as well as exercise if you exercise. After that, we're going to assess your goal. Are you trying to build muscle and go into a surplus, or are you trying to lose weight and go into a deficit? And then we're going to look at how to calculate your macros. So have your pen, paper, and calculator at the ready. If you're using your mobile phone as a calculator, please turn it sideways now, as we need to use the brackets. I'm also going to put the equation on the screen for anybody that needs to pause the video at any time so that they can do the calculation. Okay. Please note, the calculation for men and women differ slightly, but as we follow along, I will point out when it changes. First things first, open bracket, 10 times your body weight in kilograms, close the bracket, plus open bracket, 6.25 times your height in centimeters, close bracket, minus open bracket, 5 times your age, close bracket. Now, if you're a man, plus 5, and if you're a woman, minus 161. Now, for me, my calculation is 1,776.25. I'm going to round this down to 1,776. This is my calories I need to function as a human being. Now we need to work out our total daily energy expenditure, and we're going to do this by multiplying this number by an activity factor. So I've put the activity factor on the screen, and what this refers to is your activity levels and how much you move in the day. So if you're sedentary and you barely move, you don't really do any exercise, you need to times the number you just calculated by 1.2. If you're someone that's lightly active, so you train, let's say 1 to 3 times a week, but again, it's light exercise, you need to times this number by 1.375. If you are moderately active, you train 3 to 5 times per week, you need to times your number by 1.55. And if you're very active or extremely active, then please use what you see on the activity factor. So for me, I'm going to times my number by 1.55. This gives me 2,752.8 calories. This is the calories I need to eat to maintain my current weight with the current activity levels that I do on a day-to-day basis. Now it's time to discuss our goal. Now, before we get started, please make sure you still have your calorie calculations on your phone or calculator because we're going to need them in a minute. That being said, several studies have already shown a high protein, moderate to high carb, low to moderate fat diet works best for fat loss. In fact, a particular study done by Macaster University found that 50% carbs, 35% protein, and 15% fat worked better for fat loss and maintaining muscle mass when compared with a higher fat, higher carb diet. So we're going to use those exact macronutrients as our weight loss base. Moving on to muscle growth. A research paper that looked at macronutrient considerations for the sport of bodybuilding found that bodybuilders should have a macronutrient ratio of 55 to 60% carbs, 25 to 30% protein, and 15 to 20% fat. So there we have it. We have a base for weight loss and a base for muscle growth. Now it's time to actually do the calculations. Using the calories you calculated for yourself earlier, it's now time to divide them up and allocate them to the macronutrients. Now, in the case of weight loss, we are allocating 50% of your calories to carbs, 35% of your calories to protein, and 15% to fat. And in the case of building muscle, we're going to allocate 60% of your calories to carbs, 25% to protein, and 15% to fat. Now, I put my calories at 2,500 for the sake of simple math. And what we're going to do in the case of weight loss is we're going to calculate the 50%. So we're minusing 50%. This gives us 1,250 calories that should come from carbohydrates. Now we're going to calculate the protein, minus 35%. 875 calories should come from protein. And lastly, we're going to calculate the fat. This is for weight loss. We're going to minus 15%. 375 calories, in my case, should go to fat. Now, the calculations are not done yet. We now need to convert these calories into grams, so it makes it easier for us to track. Now, at the beginning of the video, I told you there were 4 calories to 1 gram of carbs, 4 calories to 1 gram of protein, and 9 calories to 1 gram of fat. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your calculations that you've just made. So take your carbohydrate calculations, in my case, 1,250, and divide it by 4 because it's a carbohydrate. That gives me 312.5 grams of carbs that I need to have on a daily basis. Next, we're going to calculate the protein. So I had 875 calories that should come from protein. We divide this by 4. I now need 218 grams of protein a day to meet this macro ratio. And lastly, we're going to calculate the fat. So I needed 375 calories to come from fat. We divide this number by 9. Remember, there are 9 calories per 1 gram of fat. This gives us 41.6 grams of fat that I need per day. So these are my macronutrient ratios. It's important to note that when your weight increases or decreases, this calculation must change. Remember, your weight is changing, so you have to recalculate. That being said, let's find out how we can track these macros. Now, there are several applications that can help you track your macros. My go-to is MyFitnessPal. It's free and it's very, very easy to use. There are several videos out there that tell you how to set it up. But once you're set up, all you have to do is click on Diary. Then you click on Add Food. Let's just add something. So let's say multi-grain bread. And once you've added that food, it will show you your calories, the carbs in that food, the fat, and the protein. By the end of the day, what will end up happening is you can click on nutrition and it will give you a breakdown of the fat, carbs, and protein that you've had for the day, as well as the grams in total. Now, it's really important at the start of this journey not to worry about going over or going too under. The real focus here is getting to grips with the types of food that you're eating to understand which has more nutritional value and where you have been going wrong and where you should go right. I want to remind everyone, it is not essential for you to track your macros and calories to get your desired results. Anyway, that's how you calculate your macros and calories for weight loss and muscle growth. I hope you have loved and enjoyed this video. Make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Type a comment in the comment box below and subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. P.S. Don't forget to put on those notifications. I will see you again in the next episode. Time for me to go and eat.